Let's move on and talk about Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Those two players will be playing together. Have you heard of that, Mark?
I mean, I hadn't heard about it, and then I turned on the fourth quarter of Mavs Wolves, and that was just that was special. Kyrie's fourth quarter was just like, I mean, that's the first time in Luka's career that we've seen somebody else take over in heat check time. But heat check time was for 12 minutes. Like that was kind of wild just watching like Luka. I mean, like he brought up the ball at some points, but like it was a lot of just give Kyrie the ball, man, and get the hell out of the way. Like there was really not any kind of plays being run, and that was what was so fun in watching it. It made me, in some ways, it made me feel all that more excited about the Mavs, and it also made me not that worried about the Wolves. Like I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, the Wolves are giving up this thing." I'm like, dude, you could put prime Ron Artest out there, and I don't think that we're getting stops right now. So like, just enjoy the game.
The thing with the thing I want to mention from that as well is just like Luka Doncic has never gotten an opportunity to essentially play 4-on-4, right? Because every time that Kyrie Irving is on the court, they've like put him in the corner a decent amount, actually. Like started him in the corner, maybe had him come up for dribble handoffs, or just like had him spot in the corner for possession sometimes. Mm-hmm. We've never seen Luka get a chance to play basically 4-on-4, where the man has to stay purely attached to a player that is as talented as Kyrie Irving, right? And having all of that extra space for Luka, and it will be more space for Luka, I think, is just very real. And then, oh, by the way, what you said happened against Minnesota, where Kyrie was just able to completely take over and dominate a game.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I really enjoyed watching that. Yeah, I think what I'm really interested to see is what they do defensively, because and I'm not trying to discredit people for how they felt, but I think there was a lot of, well, how are they going to play defensively? Like how can they hang on the court together? And I was like, they're 25th in defense this year, man. I could care less if we're being completely honest. Like,
no, I definitely care.
Well, I mean, like, no, I care, but the point is, like, okay, you're adding somebody who is one of the best shot creators and secondary scorers in the league, playing off of elite talent.
Yeah.
With what the defense has been already, it literally cannot be worse. Like, I'm automatically, I was like, okay, I'm throwing that out the window. And I think to me, what was most interesting in that game is watching what Jason Kidd really tried to do in that fourth quarter. Like they went super small. Like they were playing Josh Green at the 5. And so it was like Josh Green, Kyrie, Luka, Reggie Bullock was out there. I'm trying to remember who the 5th player was, but
Bullock was the 4th. I remembered. I can't remember who the 5th was.
I think, they were playing Theo Pinson at times. Like it was Theo Pinson and Frank Ntilikina were swapping on and off, which I love how randomly Theo Pinson went from just being bench guy to now being in the rotation, playing like 10 to 15 minutes a game. And he's been fine. Like it's always an experience watching him drive the basketball, but he makes plays. Whether they're positive or negative depends, but he always does at 100 miles an hour. But point being, like, it's not necessarily awesome defense, but it is better than what they were doing before. It's okay. Let's be active as shit. Let's try and be really aggressive. Try and force something. We know we're going to get killed on the glass. We can't really play on our. Jason Kidd does not trust any of their bigs. For the most part.
Well, and for what it's worth, that's gonna change too, because they're gonna get Maxi Kleber back,
which I'm excited about that.
Maxi will change this in a pretty substantial way.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I'm very excited to see how they continue to try and figure things out defensively, because I did think, like, again, it wasn't great defense, but the activity was there, so I was encouraged. I was like, this is better than what I've seen from the Mavs all year. So.
Mark, what do you think Dallas's defensive rating is in the 58 minutes that Kyrie and Luka have played so far?
It's probably not very good.
It's 124.
Yeah, not good.
It's real bad. Look, it's small sample. They won't be that bad defensively, but they don't have answers yet. Like Josh Green, I think, is a answer that will help them. Like they don't have the answer, I guess is what I would say. They have an answer in Josh Green just being ready to play. Josh Green should be playing 28 to 33 minutes a night.
I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't move him out of the starting lineup. I would keep him there, even
well,
when Max.
I'm at the point where I think Josh Green is. There is a non-zero chance Josh Green is their third best player. Are we there?
I'm trying to think. Would I be there yet? I mean, it's got to be close. Like he's been really good. He's been really
basically
good
since he's been back from this little inactive like stretch that he had, where I can't remember what he did. How did he hurt himself?
I have no idea. If we're being
I can't remember, but he's been back for 15 games. He started 8 of them. He's averaging 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists while shooting 52% from the field, 38% from 3, 73% from the line. Has obviously been incredibly active defensively. Has also been a real transition threat, and I think that's where I want to go with this next. Kyrie has already pretty quickly added a real dynamic for them in transition. This was a team, as we've talked about throughout the year, plays incredibly slow, right? They're a bit of a slog offensively from time to time. A lot of Luka ISO, a lot of Luka ball screens, a lot of pounding the ball into the ground for Luka. Kyrie is just going. Like that's what he does. He is going to get the ball and he's going to attack in transition. He is going to fly up and down the court and try and get that easy bucket. He's smart about when to bring it out, and he will continue to, I think, adjust that, especially as they get into the playoffs and they need to play more half-court sets. But Kyrie is going. And the biggest thing that we talked about in terms of this deal that went like way under the radar is that Dallas has been abysmal in the non-Luka minutes this year, right? They've just been terrible. They were like -6.5 or something like that in non-Luka Doncic minutes prior to this trade. With Kyrie Irving on the court and with Luka Doncic off the court so far, Dallas is +8.5. Now, that's not going to hold. Like, they're not going to be a +9 team, which would be the best team in the league without Luka Doncic with Kyrie Irving on the court. But if they're even, they're getting back like 3 points per game. And that's an enormous jump for a situation that's going to happen for 12 minutes a night, basically. If you're getting back 3 points in 1/4 of the game, you have made an enormous move even before we get to the dimension that Kyrie gives them offensively when he's on the court with Luka Doncic. It's an enormous addition for them. I'm all in on it, at least on offensive. I think that they're going to be great offensively. They do have real defensive things to figure out. And I think that Maxi Kleber's re-addition back into the fold following what I believe is a hamstring tear. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah. As soon as he gets back, I think that they're going to look a lot different defensively because they will have a big that they trust defensively to be able to switch, to be able to protect the weak side of the rim, to be able to just be available in help when someone like Kyrie inevitably gets beat off the bounce, because he will. And that's okay because he's giving you so much more offensively. But he's going to be there to clean up in a real way that Dallas doesn't even really have a cleanup person on defense right now.
Yeah, it's been rough. I agree. And I wasn't trying to skirt the defense too much, but I think again, it's more just seeing them be active is an upgrade. So I'm encouraged. But we're on the same track with that.